Well, there we are, a little bit later than usual, I'm afraid. We've got some technical difficulties today. It appears that there's a fault in the universe. I feel that there's something happened between here and Yorkshire. Some people would argue that's been a split for a long time, but no, this is more of a technical thing. So I was chatting to Connor before, and unfortunately, he keeps freezing. And I don't mean he's cold. I mean, the image keeps freezing. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to busk it, which I think is fair enough. It's Christmas. And notice that this is the closest I get to a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? The sort of Santa sweat or whatever they're called. It's red, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty Christmassy, isn't it? It's the closest I'm going to get, I'm afraid. So yeah, we're going to busk this one. So hang on to your seatbelts, and to see, because it is Christmas, I'm having a drink as well. Oh, that is so good. I actually had a completely dry November, completely dry November, and I have to say I felt no benefit whatsoever. But there you go, that's just me. So I can see Connor's there now, so I shall continue with this. I shall sing my song for the evening, and then I shall cut through to the man himself. So this is what are this? See, I'm all flustered now. This is called A Million Ways. Tried to say how much I needed you. Tried as hard as I could. Tried to explain 1,000 ways, but my words just weren't that good. Thought that you would be my future. We'd be one of the greatest loves. You said you loved me forever and ever. Like they say, forever never comes. Two sides to every story, a dozen ways to sing a song. Only one way to say that you're sorry, a million ways to get things wrong. You said goodnight when you walked away, but I knew you meant goodbye. You never turned or looked my way. I just wanted one more try. Two sides to every story, a dozen ways to sing a song. Only one way to say that you're sorry, a million ways to get things wrong. I'm not the guy who has a way with words. Me, I always get it wrong. Just can't get the words to say. Hope I do it much better in this song. Two sides to every story, a dozen ways to sing a song, only one way to say that you're sorry, but a million ways to get things wrong. There you go, a million ways to get things wrong. So anyway, last month was it, or the month before? I can't remember. I was doing a gig up in the Lakes, and it's really funny when you're doing gigs as a musician. You can always spot the musicians in the audience, and as we were sort of doing the sound check and things, I turned to Leslie and said, "The guy over there with the beard, he's a guitar player, definitely. Can spot him a mile off." Because they I know, because I do exactly the same. You think, oh, what's that guitar? Is that? Oh, what pedals has he got? What's the amp, etc., etc., etc. And anyway, after I finished playing, this guy came over, introduced himself to me, and here this evening he is my guest, Mr. Connor Walsh. There you are. Hi, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. Oh, you're looking better now.
Yeah, it's a bit smoother now. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, definitely smoother.
And a few technical difficulties.
Yeah, well, these things happen, don't they?
Yeah.
So, how's life? Busy?
Yeah, really busy, mate. Yeah, been doing a lot of gigging.
Good.
Since I last saw you in that pub up in the Lakes.
Yeah, I should have been there last night, to be honest. But by the end of yesterday, my throat's not brilliant today. But by the end of yesterday, it was. Oh, I sounded like Tom Waits when he wasn't well.
Yeah,
it was that bad. So, Connor Walsh, then, what about writing songs and playing music? When did it all start for you?
So I've been playing guitar and singing for a fair few years now. I mean, I only started gigging really I guess it was about 3 years ago.
Right.
Kind of got into a bit of a groove of it just around the local circuit in Wakefield, and then obviously that all stopped due to the old pandemic. But to be honest, Roland, that's when I started like really writing seriously, and starting to kind of knock a lot of songs out. Because I think I'd always kind of messed about writing a few songs here and there, but you know what it's like, them first few ones that you write, you know, it takes a while to start writing some until you actually like the songs yourself and you feel like you're getting somewhere with it.
It took me 35 years.
Yeah. And you're still going now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, that was it really, mate. I just obviously didn't really have much else to do, so I just spent a lot of time starting to write and
But were your mum and dad musical? Did you grow up in a musical family?
Oh, there's always been guitars in our house. Yeah. I think, you know, since a young age.
Yeah.
I used to look at my mum playing guitar thinking, oh, I wish I could be that good one day. Probably still not there yet.
So do they still play?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So
we have a lot of jams.
Yeah, for a lot of family
jams.
Oh, that must be good. I like that. I like the sound of that. So how many of you are there? Have you got 2 brothers, couple of sisters, or what?
I've got one brother.
Yeah.
And my mum and dad, and they all play a little bit. I think we've just always been a family that love music. I don't know if it's the Irish background or what, but there's always been guitars and a lot of singing in our house.
Yeah, I tell you what, you're not the first person to say they've having coming from an Irish background that their house is always full of music. Yeah, it's brilliant, excellent. So, tell us a bit about the single. Are you going to do the single? I know because the single is quite a production number. Are you going to do that for us tonight? Or?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll play that today.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So
try to get a little bit of an acoustic version together for it. To be fair. So I'm planning to release about six tracks next year, and then for each one, I want to be doing an acoustic version.
Right.
But I've just been so busy because obviously I brought my first single On the Line out back end of August. With the intention of getting my second one out, Hologram, this side of the year, but it's just not happened. Like we've just how busy I've been gigging. Yeah, you know, I thought it's probably going to be better kind of delaying it to next year, really, just to make sure I can do all the kind of marketing and advertising and stuff around it.
Are you gigging mainly on your own, or do you do with the band?
They both started playing with my band now. My kind of bread and butter is still acoustic gigs, acoustic solo gigs.
Yeah.
But starting to play with my two best mates, one of which is my producer, Josh.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done a few gigs together now. We'll just kind of have a big run at it next year. Yeah, I normally when I'm gigging, I normally do obviously like a kind of two set gig. I'll do my first set solo and then second set with the band normally.
Right. Nice. Oh, you're having a festive drink as well, are you? Cheers, mate.
Well, this is just water, but I will be doing in a little bit.
Sorry, I've already started.
I don't blame you, mate.
Right in. So, okay, do you want to do your first song then?
Yeah. So I think this first one I'm going to do, this was one that I wrote like right at the start of kind of the lockdowns, really.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the first ones where I started actually, like I say, like liking the songs, and it took a while to get there. But it's a song called Rain Roll Down. Okay. It is more of a chilled out one. Okay. I'm hoping to get this out. This will be one of the songs that's coming out next year.
Excellent.
I guess it's just about going through these kind of strange dark times and wanting to come out the other end all right, really.
Brilliant.
Time rolled by, burned like a blaze. Corner of my eye, see no change. Days into weeks lost in this place. Why so hard to change my ways? Some rain rolled down, wash me away. And bang that sound of better days. Flew through my blood and flew through my veins. Rescue me in your hands. Days roll by from the shoreline till you start to see the signs. Then you wonder how you're so blind to the truth of it all. So rain roll down and wash me away. Bring back that sound of better days. So through my blood and flowing through my veins. Rescue me in your hands. Days roll by from the shoreline till you start to see the signs. Then you wonder how you're so blind to the truth of it all. These days roll by like ash, In the wind there's a whisper of life. Till you start to see at last, and you realize there's so much more to life. So rain roll down, wash me away. Bang that sound of better days. So through my blood and flow through my veins. Rescue me in your hands.
Nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, Donna Canali, who was on with me a while ago, she's put cool song. There's also somebody who was clearly a mate of yours called Leo saying, "Go on, Walshy."
Oh yeah, that's your mate, Leo. Yeah, number one supporter.
Brilliant. The thing with I mean, I've not heard a lot of your songs, but one of the things that strikes me about them is they're quite they're quite operatic in the sense that they sort of developed and it's not just a sort of, it doesn't sound like a sort of straight verse chorus structure, although obviously there is a chorus in there, but yeah, they're kind of, you know, they're big songs.
Yeah, definitely. I think
where does that come from, do you think?
I don't know. I think it's just a case of you know, it's learning how to write. And it's just the way I like kind of writing songs. Really, I feel like it's getting to a point. You know, it's like the conversation we had the other day when it's kind of when you start adding something in at each section of the song. Obviously, when I'm doing a lot of the demos and producing it and stuff like that, I'm starting thinking about how each time, I guess, just pushing the song forward. Really, like telling a bit of a story, like with the, you know, the actual chords and the music itself, and how it kind of comes back around to resolve itself and that kind of stuff. Colin's just referring to, we had a conversation the other day about producing, and how a producer once said to me about this whole idea that at every stage within a song, you know, sort of every, whatever it is, 12 bars or 16 bars or 32 bars, something different needs to happen when you're producing a single. And I think that's it's quite an interesting way of seeing it, and certainly listening to your single, that comes out very clearly. There's a lot of it builds and it drops and it builds and it drops. It's great. It's got lots of tension to it. So where did that song, that one we've just listened to now, where did that one come from? What was the idea? What was the first thing? Do you start from it was a rainy day, so obviously sat up in my bedroom, where I actually did a little demo of it the other day, where I'm holding the mic up to my loft window, like, and put some rain sounds into Logic. But yeah, I think it was just you know, a bit of a kind of moody day. You know, been in this lockdown, and just a bit of reflection really, and thinking about how the rain really has kind of rolled down on recent times. But I think going back to that kind of resolving itself kind of thing, you know, there's that kind of light at the end of the tunnel really. And I think like with my songs, and a lot of it's just kind of in the moment, you know. I'm trying to get a bit more developed at telling a more kind of cohesive story really across the whole song, because a lot of it I'm finding at the minute is just about mood, you know, and kind of getting a mood and I guess emotion across really. But yeah, I think that one, it's just kind of what came out, just the mood I were in. Because I think, you know, some songs you end up kind of working on them for ages, and you might start with an idea, and that idea might stick with you for a few months, and you might start developing it more. But with that, it just rolled out, you know. It just came out in one go, really.
Did you find that's more satisfying in a way?
Yeah, I think
it goes like, it's wow.
yeah, I think I do, to be honest. Yeah, because it's you know, I think sometimes it's easy to get a bit too caught up in the middle of it, and you're thinking like once you've been working on something for a long time, you kind of lose a bit of context almost. So it's nice when you get those ones that do just kind of fall out.
Yeah, you can work too hard at them, and you
overthink it really.
Yeah, you overthink it, you overfettle it, and in the end, you think, oh yeah. I think that's one of the problems. I've talked to other people about this. Is one of the problems about now that we all have our own sort of studio at home.
Yeah,
and it's too easy to get locked into it. But I'll just do a bit of this, I'll do a bit of that, and then after 6 hours work on something, trying to make something work, you think, no, I actually preferred it before. Did you record this to do your single? Did you go into a studio, or did you do it?
I did actually. Yeah, I went into a few studios around Leeds.
All right.
Because that's again, that song were another one that kind of just fell out really. So I knew what I wanted to do with the song, but with it being like the first one that I were looking at producing, a lot of it were just about actually understanding the process, what you do. So I got into it fairly late, really. And like I say, I've only been gigging. I've just turned 28 last month.
Right.
I've been gigging about 3 years.
Right.
But like I say, it's only been since lockdown where I really started kind of properly writing my own stuff. So we're all a bit, I went into a few studios with an intention to try to learn quite a lot. I didn't necessarily know what were going to happen with it, if we're going to use those versions. Which I didn't. I ended up going into a few studios, learning a lot, and then just produced it with my mate Josh Pallett,
right,
the 77th Man. Is it because he does a lot of like lo-fi beats, hip hop, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just
so the end thing with Josh, was that in one studio, or is that
was just in his studio room at home in his house? We just home produced it. Yeah. So like. I made a demo here, and then I just sent it because he uses a software called Ableton. Logic. So so basically just send each other like the files of it. It'll kind of make most of the song, and then send it back, and then I'll record vocals and do it that way really. But I think going into studios, it kind of made me realize that actually I knew more than I thought I did, if you know what I mean. Like I had more of a vision than I realized.
Yeah.
For the song really, but it's still a really valuable experience going in.
I think one of the things is you find out that you might not know what you really like, but instinctively what you don't like.
Yeah.
So if you go into 2 or 3 studios, presumably you were starting to think, well, no, I actually don't like that, but that bit's okay. So you gradually, eliminate the stuff that you don't want.
Yeah.
And you get to it from that.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
But I think that single, I mean, it did strike me as being a very mature sort of production. I think it works really well. I was quite knocked out by it, I have to say.
Thank you, I appreciate that. But I mean, I was like, it was time to get that out because I've been working on it for so long. Where it wanted to be like that, really, because, like I say, going into those different studios and spending like months really getting to that finish line, it was really satisfying to actually release something and know that that version, because there's about 3 or 4 different versions of that song now from those different studios. And that's the one that I love, and that's the one that I wanted to put out. So it's nice to know that just doing it with my best mate kind of thing, release that's brilliant. So it was definitely a good journey. But
brilliant.
Yeah, it's going to be for the foreseeable future. It's going to be just mainly home production, home recording now for me.
Well, at least there's 2 of you doing it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a much better situation than doing stuff on your own. I don't mean for you. I mean, for me, for most people, there's very few people who have got enough, unless you're, I don't know, Brian Wilson or somebody like that. People don't have the ability to say, well, no, I don't like that. And we're not self-analytical enough. So I think it's better to work in, I mean, that's one of the reasons I like a guy I work with a lot, Mark Lewis, is great, and we've done 3 projects together now, and it's always been very satisfying because he's also a musician, great ears, great bass player, and a very musical person. And he'll say, well, no, I'm not fussed on that bit. And, we sort of work it out between us, but it helps to have that. For me also, it helps just to have the time limit as well, to say, right, I'm going to do this in a certain number of days, rather than doing it here and thinking, 4 months later, I'm still working on the same track,
Definitely. That's that. I think setting yourself those deadlines.
Yeah.
So you'll just keep overthinking it if not, and keep changing little parts, and it's never going to be 100% perfect. But yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, then another song, I think.
Yeah, so I'll play you that one then, seeing as though we've been talking about it. So this is On the Line that I brought out end of August. I'm going to try a little bit of a different version on it, a little bit more acoustic, because like I said, I still need to release the acoustic version. I'm thinking something a little bit like this. Every day I spend my time here wondering why. Every breath I take I'm higher, finally alive. Sing to you in an empty room, it's all I wanna do. And in my heart I know inside I belong to you. Staying up till early hours, sleeping in the afternoon. Find me climbing up your towers, trying to reach up to you. Never will I try to hurt you, cause you any harm. Live my life out on a virtue, wear it on my arm. Put it on the line to hold
Excellent. Fine guitar playing too. I like that.
Thank you.
Plenty of rhythm going on there, plenty of action from the right hand is what we like to see.
Yeah.
I should rephrase that, really, shouldn't I? I've got a few messages coming up here. Go Connor from Michelle Kavanagh.
Oh yeah, that's my mum.
Josh, your partner in crime. Go on, lad, it says.
That's fun.
And and then there's Leo saying hello to Josh. So all your mates are online.
That's what we like to see.
Good. And can I say to everybody out there, if you want to share this out with other people, then feel free.
Yeah, get it shared, lads.
Yeah, get your fingers on those buttons. See, when I listen to your songs, I really like them a lot. But normally, if I listen to songwriters, I can think, I can hear a hint of something in there that I recognize. But with yours, they don't immediately point me in any direction. Who do you listen to? Who do you like? Who are you influenced by?
You know, I brought up listening to bands like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and stuff like that. I've always loved hard rock and rock music. But I also love acoustic music and easy listening. You know, stuff like John Martin, Roy Harper. I don't know if you know Roy Harper. Proper old school kind of folk guys.
Oh, John Martin. You know, one of my
fantastic.
When I first came to Manchester, John Martin seemed to be playing at the university like every month. You know, he was amazing player. One of my
brilliant.
And Harper as well.
Yeah.
But having said that, you see, you mentioned Zeppelin. I mean, but there was it on the first album, Blackwater Side?
Yeah. Black Mountain Side, yeah.
Your Black Mountain Side, sorry. Yeah. Because Bert Jansch also recorded almost an identical song called Black Mountain Side.
Yeah.
No, Blackwater Side. So it's the same thing. So that even Zeppelin had this sort of ability to work with sort of more folky type of acoustic sounds.
Yeah.
You could even say that, like, you know, the intro to Stairway to Heaven is pretty, you know, you could hear that on a 12-string guitar, really.
Yeah, well, I think Zeppelin were, you know, they took a lot of, well, pretty much straight up taking songs and re-recording them and putting their spin on it.
Oh God, yeah. They did get prosecuted. They did get prosecuted for that as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Well,
but we won't mention that. But
you listen to some of them, don't you? And you think that's literally like the same song.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what I would kind of grew up listening to, that kind of stuff. And like I say, there've always been acoustic guitars in the house. My early experience of playing guitar and playing music, we're picking it up and trying to learn how to finger pick and all that kind of stuff, and putting little variations on chords, you know. But you know, there's a American kind of folk rock kind of band called Mountjoy that I rate a lot. I've been listening to a lot of them. I know when I wrote that song, I was listening to loads of those guys. They're good. I definitely recommend them. Mountjoy.
Okay. I'll check that out.
They've got that kind of folk rock sound. Bands like Kings of Leon, that kind of stuff. You know, acoustic rock, really. Then with my own kind of spin on it.
Slant on it.
Yeah, definitely. Because I do love those big epic kind of rock sounds as well. And that song for me, it was definitely a good song for me to release first. Because it had everything that I kind of like and listen to. It
says this is Connor Walsh, doesn't it?
Yeah. It starts with the acoustic guitar, and then develops into that kind of big epic ending.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that a lot of the songs I'm writing, I've started calling it my kind of formula with those songs where, you know, it's the same thing. It starts with that acoustic guitar. I think it's going to be kind of part of my sound. I'm experimenting with other stuff as well. But for me, I've always loved acoustic guitar, and obviously most of my gigs that I'm doing, at the minute, it's mostly solo with acoustic guitar. So I wanted to write stuff that I could do an acoustic version of, and it still sounds like the same song. You know, it doesn't sound like a completely different kind of. The core of it is still the same around kind of acoustic.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, I've always had this belief that decent songs you can perform in many different sorts of ways.
Yeah.
If it's well written, if it's got a good melody to it, it's got a good hook to it, it's got good lyrics, etc., etc., it'll work as a funk song or a country song or an R&B song or whatever. You can change it around, so it makes sense, especially as you're doing a lot of stuff on acoustic, that you can do the same song in different settings.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the lineup with the band then? How does that work?
So I've got my mate Matty on lead guitar, and then Josh on drums.
Yeah,
producing. So we need to find a bass player.
You're
That's going to be the next step. But us guys have played together, for years. We've jammed together. Matty's played like we used to jam at school and stuff like that. Josh he's did a lot of stuff on I think Fruity Loops, FL Studios, like one of the kind of doors that he used to do, like like kind of house tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's got loads of experience like producing. He's really good. He's got, I think he just hit 500,000 streams on one of his songs.
Oh, nice.
So, it's pretty,
well done, Josh. Yeah, well impressive.
Yeah. So when we're doing most of the gigs now, he's on a cajon. So we're playing, because it's still mainly pub gigs.
Yeah.
But next year I want to have a big push to go more original gigs, bigger venues and stuff like that. Get him on a full drum kit, find a bass player. So I've been pestering my brother to learn bass for a while now. So I've got one in the house, and we've had a few jams, and it's all right, to be fair. So it'd be nice to bring him into the band as well.
Bring him into the band as well. The family affair. Excellent.
Yeah. But at the minute, like for the pub gigs that we're doing, it's working really well.
Yeah.
We've got a set list, doing a few originals. So I always, a lot of my gigs, obviously mainly pub gigs, I'm doing mainly covers, but I always throw a couple of originals in there. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at the minute. Still in training a little bit, really, myself included, because I'm still fairly inexperienced really with gigging. I've last few months, I've got a lot of gigs under my belt last few months, and just this back end, this year really, we're just about getting, learning how to perform really, and learning how to set up and get comfortable performing. Then next year is going to be a big push for original stuff.
I think the thing is that you say you're still learning. I think that's the best attitude to take. I mean, I think I've told this story before, but I saw this. George Benson was talking about when he because there was a program on Sky Arts, I think it was, and this guy said, "Oh yeah, I'm really hoping, George, that I'll be able to learn from you." And George Benson told a story about when he was, in his late teens, he met Wes Montgomery, who was his hero. And he said to Wes Montgomery, I mean, would you teach me some stuff? And Wes Montgomery said, no. And he says, what do you mean, no? Sorry, I don't understand. Why no? He said, because I'm too busy still learning myself.
Yeah,
because it does it. I don't think you don't learning the guitar, learning to play the guitar, learning to sing, whatever it is a process that keeps going.
Yeah.
If you get to the point where you think you know it all, then you clearly don't.
Yeah.
You've got it wrong. So I think it's very healthy to sort of think about it in that way. So with the pub gigs, you're doing a mix. You're working with Josh and Cajon.
Yeah.
I mean, Cajon has become a sort of very, 15 years ago, nobody played Cajon. I don't think, it's suddenly become the thing to do. And I think, I don't know how you find it, but I find, because I'm working quite a lot with a percussionist at the moment, and I find that with acoustic guitar, that sort of acoustic percussion rather than a drum kit is more sympathetic.
Yeah.
And also means you don't have to take a massive PA system around you to mic everything up to match the drummer.
Well, I'm still taking it to most gigs, to be fair. But yeah, it is. It works, doesn't it? Acoustic gigs with a cajon. And it's fun and it's easy. Like we've done some like private parties and stuff like that in the summer, and it's nice just to be able to rock up. And it does it adds a lot, to
absolutely
that the percussion, but also just that element of, because I enjoy it so much more playing like with my mates and just having a laugh really, because you might rehearse a set or you rehearse a few songs and then you can't beat that moment where you just look at each other and you just start jamming and just going off on one a little bit.
I was talking to Leslie the other day about this, and I was saying, is that certain thing that when you're playing with other musicians, and then suddenly something will happen between you and one of them, you and one of the others, and either say you both take the same direction on something, and you hit the same accents, or maybe you go in opposite directions and it just fits together like a counterpoint thing. But you can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's almost impossible to explain to somebody who isn't a musician what you're laughing about.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
You reach that point of being in sync, as it were.
Yeah.
And it's magical, I think.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter whether you're playing a big, playing in your front room, or whether you're playing in a decent sized gig. Well, it doesn't matter. It's still the same laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, who do you talked about Zeppelin before, and John Martin? Who do you think of as writers that you particularly like? Those same people, or any other songwriters that you think about?
Like a lot of them. I went to see a band called Nothing But Thieves a couple of months ago, and they've quickly become like one of my favorite bands. Like for the lyrics and just the way that they put the songs together, because they'll do a lot of different stuff. They might do a really kind of heavy rock, hard rock song, and then next to like an acoustic number. And I think that's kind of what I probably aspire to. I still have my sound and my kind of formula of songwriting, but give other stuff a crack as well. Yeah. Sometimes when you're in the mood, and I wrote a song the other day that I'm not going to play for you today because it is a bit more heavy as that one.
A bit more grungy.
Yeah. But that were kind of really inspired by that band, to be fair. And yeah, I think a lot of the stuff they do is kind of, find it really interesting that they're not scared to do, kind of push the boundaries a little bit.
Where are they from?
I think they're from Essex. I think they're from down south.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that again?
Nothing But Thieves.
Nothing But Thieves.
The lead singer's amazing. He's got one of the best voices I've ever heard.
Right.
Okay. And they were really good live. When you see a band live and they just don't disappoint at all, that's the expectation. That's exactly what it was.
Right.
But yeah, because my girlfriend Rachel got me into those. But I think, it's like, say, seeing them live, because I was already a fan before, but after seeing the performance live, they're probably my favorite band at the moment, to be fair. That I'm listening to those guys most. But yeah, I think they get a lot of kind of inspiration from that, because it's like the way that they write, because obviously he writes songs to suit his voice and his style of singing as well, which I try and do with mine, to kind of play to your strengths really, and try and write it so you've got that big chorus and you can come in with a big vocal and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a band. We listen to a lot of Sam Fender as well.
Right.
He's really good. I'd check him out. Again, it's kind of in indie rock kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's a name I do know, but Nothing But Thieves, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Mountjoy, did you say?
Mountjoy, yeah, great band. Yeah.
Right, excellent. I like to learn.
I think as well, like sometimes when I listen to bands like Mountjoy, it's almost like when you listen to some of the lyrics, it's quite specific, a lot of it. And it's nice, again, just going back to that learning thing and trying to take different influences from people. I think sometimes it's nice not to overthink it and try and be too clever and really clever. I remember when I saw yourself in Keswick a few weeks ago, I think I must have said the expression tongue-in-cheek to you about 5 times, like with your lyrics. Yours are really clever and really sharp, and I've never really been as good as doing that. So it's nice to see that you can still get success and write good songs without having really kind of witty tongue-in-cheek lyrics.
That's brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, I do spend a lot of time on lyrics, I have to admit.
Yeah, you can tell, mate. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, it's nice. The other thing I that always gives me a buzz if when people come up and say, that song you started the second set with, who did that originally? And you can say, I did actually.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this thing that it's not to sound like that you're copying something, but to make a sound immediately familiar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People hear it and we did a gig last week, was it the week before? Oh no, anyway. And the bass player said to me, do you know those two people sat at the back of the room? And I said, I've talked to them before the gig, but I don't know who they are. And he said, they're singing along with all your songs.
Yeah.
I said, well, I don't know. It must be a hook line that they picked up on, whatever it was. But I think that's a nice feeling. It's a nice buzz there.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think we'll have another song. I'm enjoying these.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, I'll give this one a go. This is, to be fair, this is probably one of my kind of favorite ones that I've written. I've written it a little while ago. You know, when you write those songs and you kind of forget them about a little bit, and then you kind of rediscover it. So I'll give it a crack. Okay, it's a bit more of a chilled out one, and then I'm gonna finish with Hologram, which is my upcoming single that's going to be out end of January. But this one, I think I'm going to call it "Can't Stop Thinking."
Right.
Rode into the sun with a breeze so cool, so clean. I keep thinking I'm done, but it haunts me all the same. I keep thinking I'm done, I can't stop thinking how I love to swim against the times that brought me here, and dive under where I've dug, under those holes and bones and fears. Keep thinking I'm done, I can't stop thinking. Ooh. How I love to swim again, the tides that brought me, I dive under where I've dug, under those holes and bones and fears. Ooh, die before fools go.
nice.
Nice one, man.
Nice one. Yeah, so it's coming up to the new year. What you got lined up? What's the next stage that you've got? You said you've got the next song, which you're going to do for us in a minute.
Next on the move is releasing my second single called Hologram, which is that's become a favourite. It's probably my favourite one to play live at the minute, to be honest. In terms of my originals, but also like it's probably my favourite song that I play live, that I sing live, because I normally, when I'm gigging, when I do my first set solo, I'll do a few originals in there. That's normally where I put my originals toward the back end at first set. So, you know, when I've kind of got people's attention, kind of go in with a few, build a set up with a few big songs, and then I'll go in with a couple of originals. And that's this next one I'm going to do for you, Hologram, is it's definitely my favourite. It's just about finished being produced now. Got all the music. Josh has basically sent me a version of the song because I sent him the demo, so I still got my vocals from the demo, so we've just worked around it.
All right.
He sent me a version of the song back now, taking the vocals out, so I just need to re-record vocals on top of that.
Right.
And then that should be good to go. So I'm aiming for, it's probably going to be I think it's Friday the 5th of February. Check.
Okay.
Friday on that. Still there.
Yeah. You've locked. Oh no, you're back again. Good. Can you hear me?
Still there, Roland?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can see you. What's happened?
Don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you see me?
So have I come back, mate? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. The screen is locking up, but I can hear you. So
still there?
So carry on talking. Yeah, it's carry on chatting.
Right. So looking at getting it out 5th of 4th of February, Friday 4th of February. It's gonna be ready. I'm gonna record vocals like next week on it, so it'll probably be ready to be submitted. Probably next week. I'm gonna try and get it in between that week of Christmas and New Year's. Yeah. Get it into DistroKid, so to get it ready to be released.
Yeah. How do you find DistroKid?
Can you hear me?
Are they any good? Yeah, I can hear you. Keep talking. Oh, hang on, you've disappeared. Oh dear. Oh, I've lost him. Oh, Connor, what's happened to you, mate? Oh, he's disappeared completely now. Oh, well, that's a sudden end. That wasn't what I was planning. That was Mr. Connor Walsh. I'll put his banner back up so you can see who he is and see. Oh, hang on, he's coming back. He's sneaking back. Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Come
back.
Well
done. Oof.
There we go.
Thought he'd gone for good then.
No, I don't know.
So I've got your Instagram address there. Yeah. So will it be going out on Instagram and then presumably what you go on Bandcamp, etc.?
Yeah, well, Spotify is the main kind of platform I'm going for, like the streaming services. But Instagram's where I do most of my kind of social media stuff. So I'll be putting out some adverts and all that kind of stuff on Instagram, doing a few little videos of it, just get a bit of hype built up around it, and then get it released.
Instagram seems to be the one that's growing most quickly at the moment, isn't it? I mean, TikTok is okay if you want an audience that is under 12.
Yeah.
But Instagram is the one that seems to be getting a lot more mileage these days.
Yeah, it's what I prefer. Yeah, it's where I've kind of started. I think I put my first cover video on Facebook, but I've since just focused on Instagram really, because I like doing the minute videos. So you can record a minute video, and it's nice for me to record loads of different covers that I won't be able to do at a gig because I either don't know the song well enough, or it's too hard, or there might be a little 1 minute section of a song that I like. But it's been nice. I used to do take a few requests off people and do covers of those songs. So it's also quite a nice way for me to discover new music as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did have a crack at TikTok. But yeah, I just couldn't really seem to get into it, to be honest.
Well, I started doing it a couple of weeks ago, and I thought I'll do something every day, and I did it for whatever it was, 10 days or so, and you sort of start to get figures coming in. It's 400 or 500 people watching it, and you think, okay, fair enough. And then I looked at them, and I thought, this is not an age group. I'm trying, because they're just people who are just clicking on just to have, just to follow other people, to get them to follow to you, sort of thing. And that's, what's the point? I can't see much. Point in that for me. It's all right for them, but don't do anything dangerous. So listen, it's been great talking to you. I want you to do another song, and I want you to do it before before the Wi-Fi collapses on us or whatever. I can't understand, because it was great before, wasn't it, when we checked it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I'm up in the loft, mate. Don't think it reaches this far. But yeah, it's obviously I'm just doing it on my phone, but it seems to, hopefully it sounds all right.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it sounds pretty damn good. The songs sound good, which is what counts.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay,
so
yeah,
this is a new single, Hologram. So this is going to be out on 4th February. I was standing on hollow ground, on the edge, and you saved me. Enchanted by the sound of the beating drums that your heart had made. Finally calm down from these waves of ecstasy. I won't let you down, 'cause I know you were made for me. And I know it's a long way down. I'll be there if you need me. Be at your rescue when you drown. Be the cure to your disease. When we head out on that open road, where the mountains meet the sea. Oh, they won't crumble, no, 'cause they were made for you and for me. And I know it's a long way down. I'll be there if you need me. Be at your rescue when you drown, and I will be the cure to your disease. forgot that life could try to tie us up. Well, I know when you save me. If I ever reach the bottom, you'll be there, drag me out, 'cause I know you save me. 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 You save me.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Stuff. Yeah, I'm getting to feel the groove now as it builds up.
Yeah.
Sounding good. Connor, brilliant, mate. Glad we got over the technical problem.
Me too.
And glad we've been able to do this together. Look after yourself. Have a great Christmas. Keep in touch and let me know what you're doing. And I'll see you soon.
Nice one, Roland. Thanks for having me, mate. Take care. Have a good Christmas.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah.
Nice
Cheers,
one.
man. Thank
See you, mate. Bye.
See ya. Good man. He's he would literally come over and we started chatting after the gig, and it was really good, really good. So well, that's it for 2021 for Talking Songs. I'm starting again in I think it's January the 4th with Mr. James Dixon, and I've got lots of people lined up, so do come and join us. Have a great Christmas. Stay careful, but have fun. It is possible to do both, I think, and keep in touch with us here at Talking Songs, and I shall be back in the new year, and I shall be plugging my new album to death, the one I've recorded with the band. So you'll get fed up with that by the time we get to about the second week in January, probably. But no matter, it'll be worth it for you, trust me. So have a great Christmas. Nadolig Llawyn, Bon Natale, Merry Christmas of the only languages I know. So that'll do for now. So have fun and look after yourselves. Cheers.